What's up, YouTube? Oh, man. What's up, YouTube? It's El Pastor Ola from Rhode Island, Ola. God, I get. Whew, man. Thinking about the Nordic Lodge the other day. Oh, my God. You guys have got to look it up. Nordic Lodge. Nortic. Okay. Nordic Lodge in Rhode Island. Look it up. You're going to faint. Anybody who likes to eat, let me tell you, that's the place. If you can get in. I think it's $120 a plate, all you can eat. The best food you ever wanted to put your lips around. I just thought I'd stop in for about an hour or so and say hi and see what's up. See, it's on my arm. Oh, that's that freaking paint. I couldn't get it off yet. I'll have to get it off there. What's up? Nobody doing anything? Hmm? Everybody sleeping? Let's say Wednesday. Oh yeah, they probably over JB's, spending all their money on coin rolls. The coin hunt. Craziness. My kind of gig. I could sit there and go through rolls of pennies, dimes and nickels and quarters. That would bore me. Oh boy. I hope everybody's weekend was good. I was alright. I got muddy, which was quite fun and interesting, to say the least. At least some of us in my family still have a little fun. Boy, there's some boring people in my family. I can say that for the truth. Boring. The highlight of their days is having a conversation. Unbelievable. When I go out, I'm going out with a bang. No way. Although I pay for it when I do it. Anyway, I have a auction Friday night. Probably around 8 p.m. for a couple of hours. And then Saturday morning from about 10 till 1 or so, too. Depends on how many people come. And then Sunday, I'll start at probably around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, too. Until whenever everybody gets tired of doing whatever we do. And that's on the agenda, just to let you all know. So for the people who are not here and will watch this video later, that's what's going on. I got so much stuff going on, you guys ain't even gonna possibly believe it. I'm probably gonna have to start setting everything up tomorrow night. It's gonna be nuts. So it'll take me a while. Anyway, so I'll set everything up tomorrow night because or probably all day tomorrow. It'll probably take me set everything up, write everything down, and we'll have way I know what I'm going to do. And hopefully we'll have a good time. I got, man, you wouldn't believe what I got going on. I'm glad I got contributors overseas. It's pretty cool. Anyway, figured I'd hang out for a little while and see what's going on. See if everybody gets on. Is there anything they want to bring before the table? Any questions? Answers. That might be difficult. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It has been some week. I'll tell you something funny though. You see this roll of tape? You see this roll of tape? You see this roll of tape down here? This big fat roll of black tape and this little roll of tape. See them? Well, that big roll of tape, that little roll of tape started as a big roll. Well, CLMK, for everybody that doesn't know who she is, she's a large contributor to the channel, right? So, she's always afraid of somebody stealing her stuff because she got an envelope one time. The corner was ripped. And ever since then, I tape and box and package the crap out of everything that goes to her house. So anybody that would ever want to get in there is deliberately stealing. Plain and simple. There is no question in my mind. So, that's why I do it. And I put the armored service on when I'm packing people's stuff. Hey, what's up, Bait the Hut? What's going on, man? So, old Reverend Bob makes sure them packages are airtight. Oh, what's up, Ryan? What's going on, man? How goes the battle? I'll tell you what, it's been something. I always got something going on. Put some new tires on my go-kart because it kept sliding and drifting too much, the front end. Which I got an idea for something for that too. But anyway, so I found these tires on Amazon. And when I tell you, the knobbies on them are about that thick. And I was going around the track. I ripped the heck out of that track. I ripped it all up. But the handle's a lot better. I still think I need to drop the front end down a little bit or something. I don't know. There's something weird going on with it. I'll figure it out. And then the quad that I picked up the other day, I painted the plastics for it today. What's that say? Just about to start. What? Battle's just about to start. We are finally going back to work. Ooh, 7 days a week. Oh, really? Wow, 500 head? That's cool. Well, I know who to call if I need some beef. I grew up on a farm. I mean, it wouldn't be nothing for me to raise animals if I wanted to. I know how to. I used to do it as a kid. My uncle still owns the farm. So 500 head. Boy, that's a lot of silage. That's a lot of bales of hay. You got them big bales, don't you? Them roll bales? Them big rolls? You must have. I don't know how many acres we used to do. We had acres and acres of land that we used to cut silage on. And then we had, oh God, I don't know, probably a good 100 acres or so of just hay fields, alfalfa and clover. And then we had some alfalfa clover mix. And, oh yeah, I spent many, many sweaty, sticky, itchy nights putting it up. Hey, at least if you're going back to work 7 days a week, make some money, right? That's what it's all about, right? Make a few bucks. Might as well. Everybody else seems to be gouging the system. It's crazy. I mean, literally crazy. Everything's crazy. Silver's up high. I mean, man. And if it's. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll make yourself some money, right? Wow. You have 500 head of cattle, but my question is are they all beef stock, or are they, you got milkers, you got calves in there, or how you do it? Because how we used to do it is we had certain cows that, were a good line, you know, and, whether they were Browns or Herefords or whatever. And all certain cows did was have babies, right? And then we had, from that, depending on what we were doing, we had certain ones that were, um, you know, for beef and certain ones for milking. And then nobody wanted to milk, so screw that. Hated that milking. I hated cleaning crap up too. Oh my God, dude. Chickens, turkeys, pigs, you name it. We did it. It was crazy when I was young. I learned a lot though. I sure did. I worked that scraper a lot. Let me tell you that. One time I had two scrapers, one in each hand. I call them bell bottoms. I'd be a scraping fool. You ain't never seen anybody pick feathers as fast as I used to pick feathers. Quick. Dunk, 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 hang them up under the tail. I worked for Chickadee Farms for a little while. I hated that place. It stunk so bad, man. The smell of ammonia. You get into a real chicken coop. I mean, back in the day, or turkey coop. It's hot in there, dude. And we used to shovel it by hand back in the day. Two or three guys in the coop, through it. And I'm talking coops. I'm not talking, somebody out back with 10, 12 chickens. I'm talking about thousands of chickens, thousands of turkeys. Man, it was terrible. I didn't like the jobs like that. A lot of my family members worked there, but I wasn't about it. That I can tell you. It's a hard work. Real hard work. You want to know what hard work is? You go get into farming. Get up at, ODOC 30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And, there's no vacation, real vacation for farmers. You know, I mean, their vacation would be You'll do morning feeding, and then at lunchtime, you might roll out a few bales of hay or whatever. And then at night, you got to feed them silage again, right? And roll out some hay. Now, you know, it has to be done. It's not something that you can just say, screw it for today. It's not how it's done. It's worked every day. The only time that you really get off, and that's only if your mind is straight and you trust the people to do it, is if you have people working for you, then you trust them to do it. And you know that you don't have to go back out there and check to see if the stuff was done or not. You know, I mean, you got to have people walking the lines, checking the fence, making sure all your cattle or all of your, farm animals are doing okay, nothing sick, you know. Lots of work to do on a farm. It's continuous, around the clock. Even when you're sleeping, you're thinking about the farm. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I lived up in Escahik, in Exeter. And I used to bicycle 13 miles to work and then 13 miles back. All right, man. Catch you later, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Don't work too hard. I know you like the money. I don't blame you. You like the money, but man, them days are going to be long. Yeah. I used to bicycle 13 miles to work and 13 miles back. That's no lie. I have plenty of witnesses for that. Whew. I remember one time I was coming home and when I was young, I was a young kid, they had these little lights that you could hook up to your wheel, right? Your front wheel. And as long as you was pedaling, the light was working. One friggin' night, the wheel come off of that, and I was going down the dark road. I mean dark. Pitch dark. Man, it took me a while to get adjusted to see anything. I'll never forget coming down that big hill. Oh my God, in the dark. And it's a narrow road, it's not, you know. It was just really, I mean, two cars go down it, but you're not going down it fast with two cars. Man, that hill. Whew, I was nervous going down, but I had to go down it. Yeah. So, until I got a new light, my mom ended up taking me to work. Yep. Oh, yeah. Never forget it. Crazy. And when you're a kid and you're going and you're riding a bicycle and you're going through the freaking woods, right? I'm not lying to you. You see all kinds of things that you don't usually see because your mind's making up stuff. Bears, coyotes, monsters, devils, and demons, and ghosts, and everything else in your mind. There ain't nothing out there but animals. And they ain't gonna bother you any. I mean, you probably have to be rabid. Well, listen, you know, I'm going to comment on that. And I want you to listen to me carefully. Because I'm watching your comment, right? Um, I want to address this. I'm going to address this in a couple different ways. Hey, what's up, Dove? I had to do Power Hour, right? I mean, they used to say this Power Hour with whoever, right? I used to think that was funny. My grandmother and grandfather used to watch that. So I figured I'd try it. Here's my take on Damascus. Throughout history, the area of Damascus, which is a very vast area, has gone through wars and rumors of wars. And the one thing about the Bible is it's very repetitive. Okay? Not just repetitive in one verse or one way or another. It's repetitive in the sense that history tends to repeat itself. Thank you, hon. So, and when there's so much going on in the world as there is today, people are very unsettled. Okay? People are very unsettled. And their minds are, deconstructing because everybody's got in their head over every little thing, right? And over there, they don't have, and I'm not going to say everybody, but in the Middle East, they don't have patience, really. Not when it comes to saying something against their religion or pointing a finger at them or anything like that when it comes to religion. They're really hot headed. I'm telling you. I have friends that are Muslim. Now, I tend to say that my friends are very level headed. They're not ones to just rush into something because somebody said something. They have to find out the facts first. Okay. And once they find out the facts, right, then they make a decision what needs to happen. Do they act like a bunch of idiots? Or do they negotiate things so that people understand that it's very unsettling what they're doing or what they're saying and that they need to change their ways? The radicals don't care because their minds are led astray, you know, by the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's funny. What I mean by that is, people preying on people in their minds and the way that they think. So all of these things start up. And another thing that you have to understand is people have literature, right? They have the Bible, they have the Quran, they have the Torah, amongst many thousands of other religious books. Okay. And people, if they get enough people behind them, right, the followers, they can start these things. They'll say, oh, well, we can do some of that. Make people think that the end of the world is coming and Jesus is coming back. It wouldn't be the first time in history. Look, you're not going to know. You're not. Jesus says, I don't even know. Only the Father knows. Right? No one knows the time or the day or the hour, but you'll know the season. And season can be taken out of context. Some people say, oh, well, it's summer, winter, spring, or fall, right? No. What that means is there's so many things going on that it's out of control and out of the hands. There's a lot of things that need to come to fruition before Christ comes. And there's a lot of things going on in the world today. I'm not even going to debate that with anybody. There is. But his people will know too. His people will know in their hearts. It won't be, you're worried. You'll just smile. Okay? Look, if you fear what's going on in the world today, apparently you need to read the Bible a little more. Christians shouldn't walk in fear. Muslims shouldn't walk in fear. Right? Hindus shouldn't walk in fear. You know, people spend more time loving each other and doing the righteous things. Look, everybody's going to bitch and fight and moan and groan and complain. Big deal. Doesn't mean you have to go into nations and take out nations and kill people. Wars are started for generally one reason: money, production, industrialism. Lots of money's made in a war, just like a pandemic. Lots of money's made in a pandemic, and nobody's going to change my mind about that. Pastor and I. So, you know, do um, do I hate those people for doing that? No, I don't hate them. That's just what they do. Ain't nothing. Look, there's nothing that you can do to change it until you get enough people in the right places, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. So it will balance itself out. You know, the Chinese talk about yin and yang, right? The balances, good and evil, right? And it's true. I don't care what major religion that you're a part of or what faith you believe in, there's always the scales. And they will always tip one way or another, and they will always bounce back. But look, when Christ comes and he'll be sent, you're going to know it. And there's going to be no doubt in your mind. Everybody's going to know it. Everyone. And if you think world leaders don't understand that, they absolutely do. And they try, believe it or not, and test the waters. Well, things happen to them too. So, look, they've been fighting over there in the Middle East for a long time. You can go a few years and then all of a sudden they break out again. Then they'll go a few years of peace and they'll break out again, you know? So it's good to be cautious. It's good to have a good visual of what's going on in the world today and listening. Don't be afraid. Faith keeps you from being afraid. What's going to happen is going to happen. You know, you got to arm yourself with the full body of God, with the full armor of God. You have to arm yourself with that. And that takes a long time of preparing yourself in your mind and how strong of a Christian you want to be. Not everybody can do it. I believe that. Not everybody can do it because they fight between good and evil in their own minds every day. Every day people fight. I fight over it, you know, in my own mind. And it's a struggle, you know. And all we can do is try harder, you know. And sometimes we don't have the strength to do that. But never get comfortable because evil doesn't get comfortable. It's always moving. It's always picking at you from every corner. So, you know, be cautious, but don't be afraid. The devil lurks upon people who are fearful. People do too. I mean, he has people that work for him, and they don't even know they work for him. It's called an ideal, right? So, it doesn't mean people are evil. It means they may have evil intentions. You know? Here's a good one. There's throughout history, there's been so many people, right? They thought Hitler was the Antichrist, right? Well, actually, let me touch on that a little bit. The devil's name is Lucifer. Lucifer works for God. Let's get that straight. Okay? He's not his own reign. If look, I want you to think about this. If God's the Almighty God, which He is, right? We believe that. Some of us believe it, some of us don't. Some of us believe in nothing, right? Hey. But if you believe that God is the Almighty God and the Almighty Powerful and the Almighty Creator of all things, heaven and earth, right? And the vastness of everything, then doesn't somebody have to give Him permission to tempt people? Doesn't somebody have to give Him permission and allow Him to do what He does? If God created everything, don't you think He created evil too? I want you to think about that. Most people don't think about it. Evil doesn't just happen because God doesn't allow it to happen. Evil has a purpose. And I know this is hard for you to understand coming from a pastor. And it's called choice. It's called free will. God doesn't intervene in our lives. He doesn't make decisions for us. We make our own decisions. But if we didn't have an opposer, then we would probably never have any evil intentions. If there was never any evil, we would just exist and do exactly what God wants us to do. And that's not what God wanted us to be like. He wanted us to have a choice and make decisions. And if there ain't a wrench thrown into the mix, where would the choice come from? Right? It's a learning process. We earn our way, right? And God knew that when He created all things, He didn't make any mistakes. He was doing it and designing it the way that He wanted to design it. Because then He understood the people who really loved Him and obeyed Him because they wanted to obey Him, not because He told them to. See, He did things a certain way in the Old Testament, right? Before Christ. God did. And He has a council up there. What do you think? He doesn't have people that work for Him? You think He's doing everything by Himself? No. He has a council in heaven. And people call them angels. I will call them the heavenly creation, the heavenly beings that He created, which we're related to. They were created different than us because they don't die, right? Unless they did something wrong, I suppose. But humans, we're from earth. We're not from heaven. All of the elements that are here that are necessary for the growth of life is in us. Same as a tree and whatever else. You can check it out. It's the truth. We're limited to an amount of time that we're here, right? That's it. We're limited. We will die. But He gave us a free card, right? And the free card was just believing. That's it. Believe in His Son. Because, see, back in the old days, they were doing burnt sacrifices and, for forgiveness. And God knew that wasn't working. And then with the whole angels coming and having sex with humans and creating the Nephilim and all that craziness, God had to do something. You know what? He said, you know what? I am just going to do something. And what I am going to do, because the Nephilim, I got to go, man, because they're out of their mind, right? They're doing some crazy stuff here. I mean, they're having sex with animals or whatever. They don't care. They're just horn dogs and they're just doing whatever they want to do, eating people and whatever, right? I got to wipe this slate clean, at least as much as I can. And he did. I mean, there was still some Nephilim living. And that's where evil spirits came from. Because if you read the Bible, it talks about it. I can't remember exactly where it is in the Bible, but it speaks of it, and it says something to this effect. And he was talking to the angels, and he said, and your children, your offspring, which he was mentioning, the Nephilim, the creation between two DNAs being combined, they will kill them. They will wipe them from the face of the earth, and their spirits will roam the earth as evil spirits. So, that's what the book says. So, sometimes people get confused about that evil spirit. And when Satan left heaven with, if you want to call them angels, or use the term angel, okay? And he left with them. So those people, or those angels, were a hierarchy, right? They had all of the knowledge of heaven. So they're different than the Nephilim, okay? But now you got all these angels that came down, right, that left with Satan. And then you have what I call the insertion, or the inserting of evil, right? Or adversaries, right? People who are against what God was doing because of jealousy, right? And then you have what happened when they had sex with, because they wasn't supposed to mix the DNA, with a Nephilim, the offspring, right? So there was a lot of things going on there. So when we fight good and evil, you have to understand what you're doing. It's just like this. You could be the president, vice president, and you could be House of Representatives and Congress, right? Now, those are appointed positions, right, in our government that control what goes on in our great nation, right? And some of us think some of them are good, and some of us think some of them are bad. Well, if you think about that, then that's what's going on. There's always a battle. There's a battle raging all the time. Not just with angels of heaven and earth and demons and devils and whatever else you want to call them, but with ourselves. Because I believe that our bloodlines are tainted. I'll tell you why. Because if it wasn't a part of us and we didn't see it, and we didn't know it, and it wasn't in us, then we wouldn't react the way we do with thoughts, evil thoughts, bad thoughts, whatever it is, we wouldn't. But because it's been around us and it's been taught to us, and we see it on TV and, in our daily lives, and people take things too literal, that in itself can become an epidemic. So we have to be careful. You got to think things through. You can't just assume. You can't just, say, oh, jumping from the bridge is a great swim. Well, when it's 75 or 80 feet up, you might not make it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, don't jump into a dangerous river when your chances of survival are very, very small. If you're not prepared for it, then don't just dive into it. And that's anything in life. You really need to prepare yourself for it. Now, can we be forgiven? Absolutely. I believe everybody can be forgiven for everything. I believe that. It's not a problem with being forgiven. Because the payment of it, of whatever you've done, listen, you're forgiven, but that thought will always be burning in your mind. Always. Everything that you do will haunt you for the rest of your life. You just don't forget. It's a never ending payment for the stuff that you did wrong. Some some people just don't care. You know? They just don't. But those who have a conscience and battle between the good and evils that they do, no matter what they are, you know, um, they battle that all the time. I know. I'm one of them. But I think more pastors, they need to teach it like that. You need to be straightforward. Don't pat them on a baby. Poor little baby. Let me read you this verse. It'll make you feel better. And tell them everything they want to hear. You can't do that. It's not right. It makes you seem like you're a control freak and you're just trying to control people to get in their pockets. Look, I just don't believe in that. Dr. Billy Graham was probably and Martin Luther King, great preachers. Really. I really and truly believe both of them love the Lord. But even though Billy Graham had different things that he developed and and his house was simple. He really had a simple house. I mean, nothing that, if a pastor does the work and he's trying to do the job that, God sent him to do, then, I believe that if he does that every day of his life, then he should be paid for that. He should get some compensation. But some of these pastors, bro, I'm telling you, I wonder if they even have faith. If they lost their faith along the way somewhere. They don't make it personal. They got all these laymen and all these, sub ministers, No. That's not my type of ministry. I don't believe in that. But because I'm this way, I'll never have mass amounts of people because I'll always have people that despise me in the way that I give it to them straight. You know? That's correct, Duff. It happens. Look, if you're not feeling a little pain on your knees, and what I mean is, I'm not saying in prayer, but I'm saying pain from falling down on them so many times in your life, then you're not doing anything. That I got to tell you guys this. There's perfectionists, right, in the world. Would you agree? There's people that are just overwhelming perfectionists. Everything has to be perfect. Well, when an overwhelming perfectionist is a Christian, they're trying so hard to make everything so right. Well, even they're making mistakes and they don't even know it. See, I think God rates us more and watches us more by how we try to do things. And sometimes we fail. And how we pick ourselves up and we try a little harder. And He knows that we're going to fail more than we're going to succeed. By God, that's why Jesus went to the cross. That's what I believe. Now, I'm not telling everybody else to believe what I believe or any conversation I'm having with you guys tonight. That's for you to think about. I just want to open your minds up. If you believe me, well, then we have, a likeness there. And when you have a likeness, well, then you feel comfortable being with those type of people. But not all Christians are like that. I walked in this church one time. I usually talk like this. I walked in this church one time, and I was with Pastor Brown. That was in Oregon, right? So I'm a young minister at the time. This is years and years ago. I don't know, over 20 years ago. Well, in this church, they speak in tongues. Okay? And their version of speaking in tongues. Let me say it that way. And, the pastor was waving his hands and he's like, whew, like he had some kind of power, right? People were falling on the floor and stuff. And I'm standing there looking at this and I'm like, watching all these people around me, right? I'm shaking my head. Now, I know the Holy Spirit's with me. I don't care what anybody says. Now, I might fight the Holy Spirit sometimes, but it's a personal relationship that you have with God. And the Holy Spirit is a part of God. So you struggle between, you and God are constantly having struggles. But that day, I was watching that and I was like, how fake. Right? How fake. It seems fake to me, right? So, I'm a young minister at the time. So Pastor Brown goes, Bob, don't say nothing. Because, I'm a very vocal person. I just say it. Can't people like me or not? But I'm going to say what's on my mind, right? But because, I loved him, I didn't say anything. I just walked out. I just walked out. Because there wasn't anything there after that moment that enticed me to be there. Now, my friend played in the band there, so, I went there. So, here is my suggestion to everybody in my story. I went there with Pastor Brown, but I had a couple of friends that played in the band there. Now, I loved them enough to support them. No matter what else was going on there, I loved them enough to support them. But I didn't play into whatever that game was. So, do I hate them people for that? No, I don't. I love them. I just think that they need to understand a little bit more about God and how He works and how the Holy Spirit works. Do I think that the Holy Spirit can humble you? Do I think that you can cry and laugh at the same time uncontrollably and you can't control yourself and you don't understand what's going on and the Holy Spirit's touching you? Absolutely. But I believe that speaking in tongues, personally, is different languages, right? Because you're always going to need an interpreter if you're not understanding of that different language. You're going to have somebody interpret that language. See, at the fall of the Tower of Babel, right, all the people were scattered. But certain people could communicate with certain people and others couldn't. And they were confused by it, right? God confused them. Now, the the great thing is over the years we started to come back together, right? And we start understanding. We can have translations. We understand different languages. But there's lost languages and lost religions that we'll never know about. So we'll never know all the religions and we'll never know all the tongues. And that's my take on that. That's what I believe. Do I believe that everybody should believe what I believe? No. I think you need to find that for yourself and what works for you. What type of Christian person you want to be. Really. Because in the end, all of the churches and all of the denominations and all the names over the door don't matter a bit. The one thing that really matters as a Christian is that you believe that God gave his only begotten Son for us. He sacrificed him because he loved us that much. And not just that, but he is the overseer, the master, and he has control over heaven and earth. He gave him the right because he knew that he was going to be sacrificed. He knew it. That's the one thing that really matters. All of the other stuff is all fill-ins. Because when Jesus gave commandments, he gave 2. Okay? As a Christian, you follow him, right? Now, 10 commandments are great if you can follow them. But Jesus gave 2. He said, love their God, their Father with all their heart, mind, and soul, and above and beyond all things, love your neighbors. I've loved you. And if you think about it, you'll be doing all 10 commandments. So he put them all into, just 2. That's it. As a Christian, it's all about Jesus. That's it. Period. Once you're saved, you're always saved. That's it. Love your neighbor. Meaning just that, Dove. Love one another. So, that's it. Love. And there's different types of love. So, then again, you got to be putting yourself in check. What type of love? True, unadulterated, passionate, pure love. And that's something that's difficult too. So that is my take on it. I ain't mad at him. Look, if a pastor's doing wrong and a pastor is not preaching the way that he should, well, what does that mean? Preaching the way he should. I've seen other pastors fill in, like a New Life pastor fill in for, a Southern Baptist. It ain't gonna work. Southern Baptist is tough. You got to dress right, look right, smell right, and give it, I'm telling you. I got chewed up one time. I'm American Baptist, and I went and preached a Father's Day service for Southern Baptist. Well, I'm a pastor, right? So I dress the way I want. It's Father's Day. Hey, it's Father's Day. You should feel comfortable, right? Come as you want. Well, Southern Baptists don't believe that. They believe that you need to be dressed to the nines, right? $1,500 Gucci, baby. You know what I'm saying? You need to be ching chang. I wasn't. I went with jeans and a nice shirt, a nice belt, a nice pair of shoes, and I preached. When I walked in there, and if my ex-wife was on this channel, she'd tell you. She was sitting next to this lady, and the lady didn't know that she was my ex-wife, right? Well, she was my wife at the time, right? And she's going, I can't believe the way he dresses. Come like that to church. Shame on him. He's a preacher. She goes, maybe you ought to listen to him preach. And I laid it into him. When I got done, she looked at that lady. The lady looked at my ex-wife, and she goes, wow, he's a really good preacher, huh? She goes, yeah, I've been married to him for a few years. She didn't even know. But they, it goes right back to the old saying, never judge a book by its cover. And I was just being comfortable because it was Father's Day. So don't dictate to me on Father's Day. Don't tell me I have to wear a certain clothes or, wear certain glasses or, drive a certain car. Yeah, I got a Cadillac. You know why I got a Cadillac? Not for me, for Mary. And I got a good deal on it. And I've been working on that sucker for months. But it isn't because I want it as a status symbol, because I'm a pastor and pastors are noted for having Cadillacs. No. I like my old Ford pickup truck. Had it for years, runs good, gets me where I need to go. That's all I care about. Sure, I have fun things and I do coins and whatever else, God provides for me. But all of those things ain't worth one human life, really. One thing that really pisses me off is when people stand by and watch something really bad happen. Somebody kill themselves. Somebody do things to kill themselves without saying something, without making an attempt to help them. Because that's bullshit. And them are bullshit people that do that. And this is the way a pastor should talk. Tell them the truth. Being straight up. Being a human. Being real. Speaking a language that people understand. Don't sugarcoat it. People don't always get it when you're always being exceptionally kind with words. Sometimes you got to give them hard love. You got to give it to them straight up. Because some people don't know anything and how to straighten their lives out until you crack the whip. And others, you got to know those people, and you can speak kind to them and give them wisdom and love, and they'll change just from that. But you have to have great discernment as a pastor to know the difference. And it's not easy, and sometimes you get it wrong. But the way that I look at this world today and the way it's all going, it's like it's a free-for-all. It really is. And they take for granted everything that all my brothers and sisters who died fighting in stupid wars. But if it wasn't for them fighting, we wouldn't have America. We wouldn't have America the Beautiful with freedom. We'd be like some other third world country that's just fighting to be happy. And they take that for granted. They take that freedom for granted. It's just like Memorial Day. Most Americans don't even know what Memorial Day is. And they could give a shit less, to be honest with you. They think it's just party weekend. Party, party, party. Yeah, let's get high. Let's get ripped. Yeah. They don't even give a thank you for all of those people who gave their lives, their precious lives, so they could have that ability. so they can still have their freedom. And them people don't give a shit. And them are the people that really need to look inside of themselves and change themselves. I find it appalling myself. I have people who thank me every day. Well, I shouldn't say every day, but they thank me a lot for my service. Right? They do. They thank me. They say, "Thank you, Reverend Bob, for your service." I said, "You're welcome, but just don't ask me to do it again." But it's sad. It really is. I get upset about certain things. It should be a day to reflect, for reflection. Think about what you're doing. Think about them people and their sacrifice. And when you go to vote, and when you go to do things, and when you go to agree about people, and you're thinking about people's ideals, their faiths, their religions, take all that into consideration too. Not just things from the past. What's real? Because you can ask any service member or any family member that's ever lost a loved one what the day means to them. It's funny. I watch Christian people do it all the time. I think that they think they're only Christian on Sundays or Saturdays, whichever day they have their service. The rest of the week, it's a free for all. They get cocked up on Friday night, they rest on Saturday, milking that hangover, and then on Sunday, they're like, gotta get straightened out. Look, nothing goes beyond God's eyes or ears. So, no matter, what you think you're fooling him? Right. Not going to happen. Most people know what they're doing wrong before they do it anyway. And the ones that don't are either very misled or they wasn't taught properly from childhood. That's it. But I'd rather still see them going to church on Sunday and trying to better themselves than not. I have friends who are agnostic and atheists, and they live a more Christian life than some of my Christian brothers and sisters. That's sad. I'm really saying it. I'm really saying it. They live lives closer to what Jesus would have wanted or God would have wanted than Christian people. So, what's that got to say for us? And I think about that. How am I failing what I'm supposed to represent all the time? I try to get better. The whole world surrounds us trying to get in. How it comes upon us, trapping with its sins. Lots of different circumstances, so there's no excuse. And then I still keep thinking. And I keep thinking, what's the use? But there's no turning back. What's done is done. The past is gone. Full steam ahead. That's the way you got to think about it. There's a song I used to listen to, and it went just like that. And I thought about that. I kept thinking about it. Don't beat yourself up for the things that you do wrong. Just try to do better the next day. That's all. Don't beat yourself up over it. I don't care what it is. A sin's a sin. There's no level of sins. Okay? You think it's as bad as if you do it. That's what God means. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just try to do better. Do baby steps. Don't try to take on the whole world. Go slow. It's all about the approach. It's all about having the right heart to do it. If you're doing it to impress somebody else, don't do it. Do it because you're trying to do something that's right, whatever it is. Because the only one that you really have to impress is God and yourself, nobody else. When you work in a job, don't try to impress your boss. Try to do what's right. Become more knowledgeable, more successful, more skillful at what you're doing. And that will leave a good impression in your boss's mind without trying to do it and him seeing that you're trying to do it or her seeing that you're trying to do it. It's called making the right efforts. That's what's important. I love you too, brother. Take care, Dove. I love you, man. Have a good night. God bless you. I don't know how I got in on my high horse. I usually don't like to do that on my channel, but you know, I do a lot of things on my channel. And when I'm working with guitars, I'm working with guitars. When I'm working with coins, I'm working with coins. But when I'm having my little talk sessions, I like to give some advice on how I feel. And I don't want anybody to take and live their lives like I live my life. Or take every word that I say as bona fide facts. Search it out yourself. Figure it out yourself. These are just, points that I'm making that may help you. If it doesn't work for you, leave it out of your life. If you get just a little morsel, just a mustard seed of knowledge or help out of anything that I say, it's better than nothing at all. It's better than no one trying to make any attempts to help you. That's what's important. And I hope you all understand that. It's taken me a long time to get where I'm at today, in my ministry. And I've had several people over and over and over all the time. Pastor Bob, why don't you just start a regular church? Well, because one thing about churches is too many people like to control the pastor, right? Sometimes too many people like to control them by how much money they donate or whatever else they want to do, right? There's just too many things that go on and can go on in a church that I'm not settled yet for how I would like to run a church and just be myself. So, because I haven't figured that out, I don't. My biggest dream was to have, and I don't know what this is. It's always been on my mind for many, 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 many years. Is I always pictured this big, big round church, right? And up top there was cafes and bookstores and gym that you could go to. Down below there was a basketball court, and outside there were tennis courts and baseball fields. And, inside there was eateries that you could eat food. There was vegan and just regular food for regular people that just that eat beef or whatever. Everything was consolidated in this one building, and down below was the main floor, and have 4 preachers at one given time, and they dialogue different things back and forth. And people can come up anytime. They'll get picked. If they have something to say, they can come up and say it, and they say it in order. And just have a good time and enjoy life. Have a nice big band. We can play Christian rock or whatever you want to play. You know what I mean? And then when the church is not in session, you can have flea markets or yard sales or car shows or whatever, concerts, whatever you want with the church. Right? I think that would be wonderful. It's just always been in my mind, a dream. But getting enough money to build something that big You have to be an exceptional pastor and an exceptional businessman. And I don't think I'm either one of those things. I'm not. I just want to be people's friend. That's all. I try to do the right thing. Unless, what? You know, Biggie, here's the thing. I think about when Jesus told Judas to go give the money to the poor, right? I think about that. And I use that. What's up, Texas Show? I use that as an example for how I need to be. Right? Now, if you know doing something, anything, can bring the wrong type of atmosphere or the wrong type of vibe in something that you're trying to make good, then you don't do it. And you should always appreciate people, right? And do what's right. Now, I believe that church should be fun. It should be a place where we all gather and we talk about things. Whatever, whoever you are. Farmer Joe can get up there and talk one Saturday and one Sunday, right? And all he can talk about is farming stuff. What he does on the farm, some of the things that he does, or a carpenter, or a truck driver. And then from that, as a pastor, I'm going to give examples where biblically it forms. Because some of those people wonder if they're doing the right thing. You know? And I say everybody has their own place in this world. Everybody has their own thing that they need to do, right? That they're picked to do. And it should be fun. And we should enjoy life. And you shouldn't have to go to church on every Sunday. You know? I think that if I could have a big church like that and have one big service where you're actually listening to the pastor, and then the rest of the weeks, if you want to stop by, you can talk to anybody, counsel, lay down the table, and go in there and play a game or watch a movie or, play some baseball or football and talk about what's on your mind. Get it out. Right? What's wrong with that? Why can't you do that? The Bible says where two or three or more gathered in my name, I'll be in their midst and bless them. So, why can't you do it that way? Church can happen anywhere. I mean, you have three people in the bathroom if you want, but, or you can go out for a hunt. Go out hunt, 3, 4, 5 guys go on a hunting trip, have a little prayer, talk a little bit, have a little conversation, go about their business. Go out four-wheeling, go out riding motorcycles. That's what I believe. What do you think? Jesus just started with a flock of people? No, it took him time. People had to see who he was, listen to him, and feel him out. I am not Jesus, and I ain't trying to be. But I do try to deliver his message. And it's simple. Just love one another. Do the right thing. Enjoy life. Don't take without giving back. And when you do somebody wrong, ask for forgiveness. If they don't want to forgive you, that's blood on their own hands. Go on with life and enjoy it. Because you get one round at it. That's it. Poet, you need to go to bed right now. You're in trouble. This is Power Hour. And that's just how I am. Look, don't feel bad when you can't go to church. When you can go, go. If you feel like going and the Spirit of God moves you to go, then go. But that doesn't mean that God's going to forget you. That doesn't mean that you can't love Jesus. Look, some people just listen to evangelists, right? Or listen to pastors, whether it's on a YouTube channel or on TV or whatever. You know what I mean? Churches, look, churches can be great places and they can be bad. I'm going to tell you that. The smallest congregations are always the best, probably, because you can be personal with everybody. You know their name, you know who they are. What's up, CLMK? And you can love them when you know them. When you get big, you got to get bigger as a man or a woman, as a preacher. And I did say woman. And here's why I said woman. And let's get this right out in the open and straight. Okay? I don't live back in the years where men figured they needed to control everything. And they're the only ones that could be preachers. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Christianity wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for Mary Magdalene. She's the one that was the driving force behind Christianity. And people need to understand that. She was. Because the rest of the disciples, they had a hard time getting along with each other. Because the master was gone. Because they didn't pay attention to what he was saying when he was alive. And he was sitting with them. But Mary did. So contrary to anything that they said about her, she was the driving force. And she drove it. And that's why it is what it is today. She was behind it. So, let me make that perfectly clear. You want to look up to somebody that really loved the Lord with all of her heart, all of her mind, all of her soul, all of the time, till the very end and to the resurrection. It was her. Her. She stood alone. And if you don't think the master didn't recognize that, he did. Now, some people say, well, maybe they were married. So what? What if they were? Who cares? And what if they did have a baby? And the baby's name was Sarah and she moved to, England and there was a bloodline. Who cares? I don't care about that. That is not important to me. If that's factual, so be it. It would only be righteous and it would only be right by Jewish law. Because the age that Jesus was, he should have been married anyway and had kids. So, if he was following Jewish law appropriately, he would have. So it doesn't matter whether he did or he didn't. When you're God and you do something, it's a lot different than when you're just a regular human being and do something. The rules are different. Things are charged differently. So you can't, we can't dictate what God does and how he does it and who he has and how many kids he has. Just think about it. God wasn't married when he put the Holy Spirit, sent the Holy Spirit to deliver a seed into Mary. There was no marriage, except God ordained it right there on the spot. He didn't need any but he stand up there in front of him and say, do you two love each other? No, he didn't need to do that. It was just done. So, with that being said, I had to make that little point. That's a power hour point, by the way. That's what I believe. Now, if you don't believe that, that's fine. I'm not here to argue with you. Do a little more reading, a little more studying, you'll figure it out. And no, I ain't going out and researching every little piece of paper and every little line and paragraph and tell you all the books that I've read and all the places I've been around the world to figure this out for myself. That's something that you need to do. If you love God that much and you want to find out the truth, search for it yourself. Don't believe what I say or any other preacher or pastor or layman or minister. Search it out. You'll know the truth. Okay? You have to feel that truth for yourself because it's about a personal relationship. And the personal relationship is between you and God. If you want to get to know Him, you need to do it on your own accord, not just by other people. It's good to hear things, but don't base your faith on one person. Base it on little things that you pick up here and there. That's what's important. That's what's really important. Find it and search it out for yourself. And that way, the only one you have to blame is yourself for either the lack of doing it, right? You know, I learned something. The attentive ear receives the sound from an instructive tongue, which is thus kept within the repository of the faithful breast. And thus should man live and aspire their lives by. I mean, if you hear something that agrees with you, think about it. Test everything. Test everything that people say, everything that they do. Doesn't mean you need to be belligerent about it and be an asshat about it. It means that you should be, cautious about everything that every man says, every woman says. Be cautious, especially when it has to do with your faith, your love, your life, your family, and your country. Test things. Just don't let it go by like a shitbird, Study it. Conscientious of it. And make your own decisions. Now, you got to obey the laws of the land. I'm not saying to go crazy. But stay within bounds, Make your bounds. Determine what they need to be. Know what love is. Know what liking. I love people. I just don't like everybody. And there's nothing in that scripture, and I say it all the time, that says I have to like anybody. But it does say I have to love them. And there's a big difference between liking somebody and loving them. And how you love them. Those are the things that you need to figure out for yourself. Some pastors, they like to take control of people's minds, their pocketbooks, their lives, and control them like they're puppets. I'm not a puppet master. I don't believe in that. That's not how I run my ministry. I give you information, we talk about things, and hopefully you figure it out. That's it. Plain and simple. That's what real love's about. That's what real love is about. So now you know why I could never, I shouldn't say never, but why I don't have my own church. Because I'm very open and I'm very right smack in people's face. And it's not that I'm talking to any one person. I'm not. I'm not picking or pointing the finger at any one person. If it affects an individual, there's something that probably in their lives that's just haunting them, that bothers them. And I'm touching that sore spot. And I'm not particularly doing it for any one person. I'm not like that. And most of the people in this chat know that. I don't do that. I'm a good guy. I like to have a good, fun time. I say what's on my mind, and that's it. And either people come and they respect me for that, or they don't. I know a lot about a lot of different things. I'm a jack of all trades. But when I'm talking about religion, faith, and God, I have my own perspective on it. And if it's helpful to you, and it helps you to heal in some way, better yourself, God bless you. And if it don't, I hope that you find somebody that does help you and does give you love and respect and understanding and initiate something deep inside of yourself, deep inside of your soul that helps you to change and make better in yourself or improve yourself, improve your health, your love and welfare with your family. Those are the things that are important. You know, sometimes we're seed planters, and sometimes we're waterers as pastors. So, you know, it ain't easy. The Bible is a guide, but there's a mystery to the Bible. And here's the mystery. Anybody that reads it is going to read it a little different. Anybody that reads it is going to find something different in it. There's 66 books in that Bible, right? It's inspired by God, but it's written by man. Man makes mistakes. Man does things the way they see fit sometimes. Remember that, whether inspired by God or not. So, but I'm going to tell you this, there's a lot more books than that. There's thousands of books, thousands and thousands of manuscripts. And you know, if you look around the world and you look at all your major religions, right, that are solid, good religions, the one thing that they all teach is love. Love. Period. So if you concentrate more on what the word love means and what it means to you, it will help you figure out all the other little things. Because we all train wreck. I train wreck a lot. Hi, Kathy's Corner. How you doing? Hey, did I hit that too hard? God, I gotta behave myself. Don't chew me out later, you guys. I just like to say it the way I see it, you know. It's just like my auctions. Got a message from a guy. He goes, well, I don't know why you don't just have giveaways like other channels do instead of, you know, doing it so that they have to buy something to get something free. I said, well, here's the deal. I give to other channels, you know, I do. If I like the channel and I like what they're doing and I see them enough, I'll send some stuff to them if they want to just give things away. From time to time, I like to do that. I don't like to do that on my channel. I like it to give to people who are doing something righteous, right? Doing something right. You can ask any of these guys in blue, right? For people who are just coming to the channel that don't know me, any of the moderators, and they'll tell you. I do it because there's people that donate to my channel and they have specific instructions. And I follow them instructions. And I don't modify them unless I ask for permission. And most of the time I don't do that. And it's given back to those who give, to children who need shoes and clothes, to families who need food, people on holidays, whatever the case may be. And they know that. But I'm still buying coins with my own money. I still do that. And then all of the profits from it, that's what it goes to. I do it to have fun. I love coins. I love guitars. I love a lot of things, right? I'm a little crazy. Some of my friends just think I'm out there. I get a little crazy sometimes. I know. Everybody probably think, what the hell is wrong with Reverend Bob anyway? He lost his freaking marbles? Probably. I lost my marbles a long time ago. But there is a lot of sanity in some of the words that I say. Is it something because one man taught me that? No. But one man did tell me something that was really important. And that's Reverend David Brown, my mentor. He said, be yourself, Bob. Always be yourself. I'll love you for whatever type of minister you become. But be honest and be a good pastor. Be a good minister. But know how to separate yourself from different things that you do in life. And there'll be people that respect you and people that don't. There'll be people who think they're equal to you, but no one will ever be. Because you're only one person. And I'll tell you, every one of you this, you're all very special because everybody is something special and there can never be another of you. I don't care if you have an identical twin or not. Everybody is special. And we should treat each other with that speciality. Not everybody is highly intelligent, have an IQ of, 189. But that doesn't mean that their life is less important. That doesn't mean that they don't have something to contribute to other people in the world. Some of the simplest people I've ever met in my life were some of the most intelligent people. Blew my mind some of the things that, they came up with. So just treat each other as kind as you can. Now look, everybody busts each other's beans, right? Fools around, kids around. God, I'm always picking on poor Texas Joe. But you know what? I love him, and I know he loves me. Me and Oso, we go at it, and me and Carissa go at it. She'll tell you, look, she's gonna hate me when she gets that package. Though I'm gonna tell you right now, she's probably gonna be flipping me the bird, calling me F-bombs and everything else. But that's okay, because she, you know what? At least she knows her stuff was protected. You can kid around with your friends because you know what? You say something wrong, your friends can forgive you. And if they don't forgive you, then they're not your friend. It might take them a few days, but they'll get over it. A $2 steak. Hey, don't talk about steak. Oh my God, you're going to have Bait the Hook back in here. And I think he went to bed. You got 500 head of cattle. You know that, Joe? Bait the Hook. He might be making some bank pretty soon. Oh God, I shouldn't have said 500 head of cattle. Freaking Oso Poet will be like, what's his address? I get some of that. Yeah. 500 head. That's a lot of meat. Look, we got to keep him on the. I'm glad he's in blue. Because I'll tell you what, we're having problems with beef. Tell you what, me and Oso will be right on it. I tell you that right now. I'll be calling him up. I want your damn number. Because, look, ain't no meat in the local store and it's too expensive. You got to hook a brother up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, homie. Send me a meat pack. I ain't lying. Hey, you think people that smoke cigarettes and don't have a pack of cigarettes get mean? You want to see people who really like beef. They can get pretty pissy when there ain't no hamburger, no steak. Okay? People who like pork, ain't no freaking bacon. Oh, I think I'm going to have eggs and toast this morning. That's bland, okay? But bacon, eggs, and toast? Baby. Some home fries? Now we're talking. So for all the people that are, vegetarians or, into their own little dietary thing, that's fine. But I got a question. Back before technology, when we had the ability to have greenhouses, do you think back in the old days they were just sitting around like a bunch of bears and going into hibernation throughout the winter? No. They'll eat meat. Whatever they can find. Look, sharpen a stick and nail that thing. I'm hungry. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. I'm just telling you. Look, I don't hunt no more. Because you know what? It's quicker to go down to the store and get what you want to eat rather than go out in the damn woods, sit there, and hope you get something. And come home dragging your head down. Honey, did you get anything? No. Oh, is it porridge tonight? Yo. No! I'm going down the store. Yo, I'll take me a 5-pound chunk of that steak right there. Oh, yeah. Gotta get me some A1 sauce, a few baked potatoes. Yeah. Oh, asparagus. That's the way I think. Sorry, guys. I'm just being honest. I want you guys all to look this up right now. Look up the Nordic Lodge. Nordic. Nortic. Nordic Lodge in Rhode Island. It is $120 a head if you can get in there. And it's all you can eat buffet. You name it, they got it. I'm telling you, they have it. I have never seen anything so beautiful in my life as a little piglet. I'm serious. You could be the muffin man, you could be the cake man, the pie man, the candy man, the lobster man, the crab man. You could be anything you want when you go in there and just be a pig. And I'm telling you, it's the best food you'll ever put your lips around. It's expensive, but boy, for me and my friends, they're like me. God, do not get near my plate. That's all I got to say. Yeah, it's in Charleston. That's correct. Yep, the Nordic Lodge. That's right. So, maybe someday, my real close friends that are on this channel, maybe we can all get together one of these years. And that's the place we can go. Because one thing I know about most of my friends, they love to break bread. And if you don't think that CLMK ain't thinking about this right, yeah, see, it just popped up. If you think she ain't thinking about it, George ain't thinking about it, also a poet, and Texas Joe, by God, you're wrong. They're thinking, you're not right, Reverend Bob. You made us look this up, and now we're looking at all of that food. My Lord, have mercy. There you go, Joe. All you gotta do is call me. Coming into Rhode Island. Let me know. And we will go. If I can get us in there. If not, in the town I live in, they have a small little place that serves great food. I'm talking like, it's something about small little diners and stuff, right? On the East Coast that, oh my God, they serve great food. I mean, God, I love food. Steamed clams. Oh my god. Hey, you know what I should go downstairs in the fridge and show you these stuffed clams I got. Well, wait a minute. They might not be there anymore. Maybe I ate them. Well, I'm a no bullshit type of dude. If I know you're coming through, just let me know. You know, I mean, if you are you gonna drive up an RV or whatever? Because I got plenty of spot. I mean, you see my property, so I got plenty of spot. You're always welcome. You gotta just call me. You'll have a good time. And I ain't no different in person. Because this is me. Anybody that knows me knows I don't change. Except when I'm outside in the shop and I bang my finger, then you might hear me swear a few F bombs. I ain't lying. Because I'm only human. No, that's cool. Yeah. No problem. All you gotta do is let me know. I love to enjoy my life. And for so many years, I was doing the bidding of my loving government. And I don't regret it. I don't regret being a soldier. I don't regret doing my time to help my nation. I think it's the right thing to do. Unfortunately, I'm paying for it for the rest of my life. You know, here's the thing. I have people that come over. And I'll be honest with you. I have friends and family that drink, smoke pot, whatever. I don't judge them, okay? But they know me. If it's not my thing, it's not my thing. If I have a friend that come, want to have a beer, I got beer down there. I have a friend that wants to come and sit down and have a glass of whiskey, I got it down there. So what? People say, "Oh, you're a pastor. You shouldn't have that stuff." What? I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm not like some pastors that just sneaking it around and you don't know it and they're closet drinkers or something. No, I don't have an addictive personality, but I have it there. And sometimes I find that by having it, you don't want it as much. But I have friends that don't drink at all. I have friends that don't drink coffee. They drink green tea or whatever. That's fine. I don't judge them. I'm not, look, it's not my job. It's not my position to judge. I got friends that just stop by sometimes and they just talk to me for a couple of hours and they enjoy it. I talk about all kinds of things, not just religion. It's not who I am. So, but I really would like to get some of you guys to really get together sometime, one of these years, before we get too old and we don't feel like doing crap but sitting around the house. Get together and meet each other, give each other a hug, and break some bread and have a good time, and hopefully not tell and that way, people know who we are. I like to be personal with people, not just talk on a chat box or whatever. I want to shake your hand. I want to look into your eyes. You know, because then you always got that image in you. You see a picture of something, like I know what Sion K looks like. I know what George looks like. I know what George's family looks like. I know what Texas Joe looks like. But it's not the same as when you can shake the hand and give him a hug, you know? I have friends of mine that are old school. So if a man kissed a man on the cheek, they get pissed at you, right? Probably punch you in the face. But those same people, I go up and give them a hug and kiss on the cheek, they expect it. They do. Because they know who I am, first off, as a person. And I've always greeted them like that. And it'd probably insult them if I didn't. But that's just who I am, you know? I don't mean nothing more than I respect that person enough to give them a hug and a kiss on the cheek and welcome them into my home. I don't invite everybody here. I don't. If it was a really bad time and there was lots of things going on, I'd help people. Absolutely. That's who I am. It's too bad that more people ain't honest and upfront like that. I don't know what the hell they're hiding from. I really don't get it, to be honest with you. I don't. You know? New England people are different people. Okay? You'll notice that they're very rough, harder on the edges. But I've met people all over the country that are like that. I have. Met them in Oregon, Texas, Indiana, Ohio. God, everywhere I've been. Maybe not as much in California, but there are some up in the mountains. Some of the farmers. We're everywhere. It's pretty neat. Anyway, so I got some other things that I didn't show everybody that I'm going to have for sale too on the auction. Guys, it's probably going to take me all day tomorrow to get this stuff all set up. It's kind of crazy. But it'll be something different. And the price of silver is going crazy. It's like things are selling crazy. So we'll just nitpick at it. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but I'm telling you that. And I'm going to stick my American Silver Eagles probably in the same case. Don't get mad now, as my Morgans. Because I have every year of the Silver Eagles. You know that, right? You're knowing that now because I finished it today. It's on its way. The last couple that I needed. So you'll see them too. A lot easier to finish them than it was to finish the Morgans. Yep. So we'll see them too on the wall. And I might do some other things. Chicken calves. Oh, guys, you know what's really funny? The lady, 2 houses down, right? She's got this billy goat. And all it does is freaking whine. It's a kid, right? And all it does is whine. It sounds like a kid screaming all freaking day long. I'm learning to start to block it out, but my lord. Okay. We'll have to scream Billy Goat. And then got a guy over there loving to death. Look. In his freaking rooster, sounds like somebody grabs a hold of his throat every time he goes to do a cock-a-doodle-doo. He's got something wrong with his voice. So, That's why I have a go-kart track. They make my noise too. Nobody says anything. It's crazy. Then a lady over here, you ain't never seen anybody ride a lawnmower as much as her. She's got to be 79 or so. Dude, she'll fire that lawnmower up at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. She'll just fire it up. She's out there just, I don't even know what she's doing. I think she's just bored. Poor thing. So everybody's got their own little thing they do. It is what it is. Nobody bothers anybody. It's crazy though. It really is. It's a crazy world. I put a big seat. Um, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well, she got a new lawnmower too, by the way. She had an old one. It was sounding kind of rough. And next thing I know, she's got a brand new one. I was like, oh God. Why couldn't she got a push mower? She probably wouldn't have been out there as much. Anyway, I want to tell you what I did today. So I put a big seat. I had a scooter out back, 50cc scooter I had from years ago. So it wasn't running, so I took the seat off of it and I put it on my Coleman mini bike. So now, and I put an extra set of pegs on the back so Mary can get on there with me. So we took a ride down the road, down the back road. There's a dead end road. I don't know how long it is. Probably a mile and a half, 2 miles or so. Took a nice little ride. Yeah. Here's the funny part. You want to know what we were wearing? Our sleep pants. We just took it off. We didn't care. It's fun. That's what I like about living where I live. Nobody judges. I mean, they probably talk about you or think about you behind your back, but they don't say nothing. Just another crazy person. And you know what? Great thing is when you live around a lot of crazy people, you ain't never gonna worry about them. Because nobody's gonna test anybody. Oh my god. I'm terrible, ain't I? God, I got a lot of giveaway stuff down there. Yep. I was trying to think of the best way to do it. Because I got a free for all. I can do it any way I want to do it. I still can do it any way I want to do it with these gifts. So thinking what I'm going to do is put different numbers in a hat. I don't know. I'm going to put numbers maybe on some wood or something. Put them in a hat or something. Whatever number I pull out is what you'll get. And it could be anything from a VU penny, an older VU penny to whatever. Whatever is in the giveaway box. And trust me, you think I'm lying? I'm going to show you the box. Look at the size of this box. I am not kidding you. So we should have some giveaways for a few months. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I love it that my friends love me and love what we're doing here. And some of them are really testing me. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Friday night, probably 8 o'clock, I'll be having the auction, and then Saturday morning from 10 to probably 1 this weekend, and then Sunday probably 7 till whenever. So put it on your calendar. Be there. Be square. I know most of you guys will be there, but I'm just letting you know. I got some really special stuff that it's probably a little expensive for some people, but it's very rare stuff. So take that into consideration. I got a family. I didn't tell Mary about it yet, but I got a family that's in some dire straits. So I got to try to do something for them. It's one of them things I've been thinking through. So. And it passes the real deal thing, It's real deal. So maybe that's why I got all that stuff down there to give away. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of stuff down there, man. It's gonna be an expensive shipping. Oh. Hey, Morgan Dollar question. Go ahead. A National Newsmatic collection certification? Sure. Mm-hmm. They have all kinds of them. They have ANA with ANA certifications. I will put something together for you, Joe. And then one of these nights I'll explain it and show it to you. And you can go on. You should be able to look it up on the internet, and it will tell you exactly what it's about. It's not like, see, the ANA does it, and other people do. Well, they're an organization like. Well, they're not the same as the ANA, but they're along the same lines. They're not as, how do I want to say this? They're not as popular, right? It's more specific people bound. Do you understand what I mean? So specific people who belong to different organizations, sometimes they like specific points. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but have you ever heard of the Redfield collection? The Redfield collection is the same way. Some people have never heard of the Redfield collection, but there are graded, specially graded coins by specific people. So they're highly sought after and they're very expensive. Well, Joe, from some people they are, and some people they're not. Redfield is. The other company, I've seen a few, but I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I don't know in depth who they are and what they're about, and because I don't belong to them. Like the ANA, I can tell you a little bit about, or Redfield, I know a little bit about because I used to have a few of the coins in the Redfield collection. But there's certain graders and collectors um, that um, only buy or purchase or follow certain um, companies or organizations. No different than joining a you know uh, coin guru minister. You know, you guys know me. You've been around me long enough, and you've seen me in action, looking at a coin. So you'd be more likely to take my word on something or advice rather than somebody else because I've done it for what, a year now. I guess I've been on YouTube. So, but here's the thing that I will always tell you, Joe. All right, don't buy a holder or a name. Buy the coin. Look at the coin. If it goes to Sachs and Bowers or something like that, and those coins are up there, they're well-known people, well-known graders, and you can be guaranteed there's nothing slipping by them that ain't real. Some big names, some big name people, um, their coins and their holders, right? Like PCGS, NGC, ANAC. Um, there's lots of them. I have some coins I'll show you sometime that have different names on them, but they're great graders. They were good grading companies, like ICG, right? A lot of people say, well, who the hell are they? Well, uh, you know, they're they are a grading company and they do a really good job too, and they're getting up there too. You know, um, I don't know if you guys ever watched the Coin Guy down in Florida. I buy stuff from him once in a while. Um, and Mary's mom doesn't live too far away from him, but he gets stuff graded at ICG. That I think they're located down in Florida too. Their rates are good, probably right along par with ANAC. You know, so you know but even then, if I'm going to buy a coin that's not a raw coin, I still always look over the coin. You know, is the grade a good grade? Because sometimes, they might grade it. Okay, well, I'm just going to put a MS62 on this. Well, we don't know when that coin was graded, right? How many years ago? Because some certifications don't. Tracking the date can be difficult sometimes with some people. So now, NGC, PCGS, and ANAC, they can just about date it. They can date everything. They can tell you when it came out, and the whole works. But there are some out there that grading companies, they graded them, but you don't know when they can give you an approximate date, maybe. You know, those people, well, you kind of got to follow their grades. They might be 2 grades higher than what PCGS would have graded it, but they grade it harder because it has to pass all the tests. Like if you want to get a CAC, sticker put on your coin, it'd have to be an exceptional coin and an exceptionally rare coin, and you know, so you would want to go through, you know, NGC or PCGS for something that's exceptional. Why? Because that's what the big buyers look for, right? When it's double certified, especially if it doesn't get a green bean, it gets a gold bean. It's a gold sticker, they call it. The gold sticker means that CAC thinks that it graded higher than whatever they graded it. And that really sets a precedence on that coin. And I'll tell you why. Because now there is a conflict of interest between superior graders on what that coin should be. And that's where it comes back to being subjective, right? So it becomes subjective. Now I have all kinds of them. I mean, I think NGC and PCGS are right on par with each other. I don't think either one of them is better than the other. Personally, I think ANAC is really coming down hard on their grades too. I think because they know in order to stay in the top big three, they have to be. But if you think that ICG doesn't see what's going on, they do. They're starting to climb the ladder too. So, you know, I just think that a grading system should be a little different. I think that um, humans, all human eyes and the way we see things are different. So I think if we could put multiple different people and how they would grade it, and I'm not talking about guys who are in each other's pockets, right? I'm talking about different dealers and collectors, right? They could put it out like, I don't know, 100 coins, right? And they could grade these coins themselves, whatever these coins are online, right? Look at them and give them their grade based upon what they know, their knowledge. And then they could put all of that into a computer bank, right? And then they could have a computer set up so that when it looks at it, it can give you an estimated grade for whatever that coin is. That's what I think would be good. So it would give you an estimated grade for whatever your coin is. So you could take that coin and put it underneath a camera, right? If you're linked into this data bank, it'll scan it and it'll look at it, both front, side, and the rim and everything, and then give you estimated grade. But to get the final grade, now that information is stored inside of the computer under your name for that coin, okay? So it's documented. It's put in a format so it won't ever go anywhere. It'll always be stored there. And then what happens is anybody like PCGS, NGC, ANAC, ICG, whoever the grading company is, right? They can link into that through security. They already know what it is, what that coin is, right? And you can send that coin in because it will have specific identifying marks on that coin. No coins are exactly the same. Okay. So that computer's already scanned it. So when they get it, if it's a different coin, right, it'll reject it because it'll say this is not the coin that was actually scanned for what you're submitting it for. And it'll give you identification number for that coin based upon their data bank. So all you have to do is on camera, put that coin in a sleeve and seal it, right? And the camera's watching this. So it watches your signature because people's signatures change a little bit too. And then you can just put it in an envelope and mail it off to them. And then when the physical people get it, right, when you send it to one of those companies, they know what the number is. They can pull it up, see it, right, what the basic grade was, and then they can look at it. And they already have a reference guide. So you already know somewhat what your grade is going to be. There's no mystery. And then all they have to do, that takes a lot of the dirty work out of it for them, right? And this is based on, whatever, 1,000 graders or 1,000 different collectors or whatever. And the grade can't be no lower than or no higher than within one grade based upon looking at it. But they make the final grade. Now, if they didn't do it on a 70-point system and they did it on a 100-point system, which would probably be a little bit better for collectors, because that would broaden the collector's ability to collect different levels of coins, right? It broadens the spectrum a little more. I think that would be another thing that they need to add into coin collecting. Now, I do know somebody that's been on this for a while, which is Daniel from Coin Help You. Okay. He's a smart guy and he's a webmaster, right? So he knows a lot about that stuff. And he's been doing it. He's working on it. And I think he's trying to implement it into the system, which he's going to have to get more people behind him in order to get full spectrum of it. But I think his approach is good with intentions. But I think there are a few other things that he should implement, and maybe he'll watch my channel. I don't know if he does or not, and use some of these ideas to help him, to make it a little bit better. Because I think that will make it a little easier. And then there's a little more security because based upon what the computer said, you sealed it in your heart. If you're doing it right and you're being honest and everything, then maybe what you do is if you use that, they'll give you a specific sticker, right? And you can order these stickers. Each sticker might cost you 25 cents a piece, right? And they have a special sleeve, right, that you can get from this company. So when you're scanning, it knows the sticker, it knows the number, and once it's sealed and it knows it's sealed, right, it's stored, so there's no way that you can take it out of there because it would void it. There's a lot of things that you can implement. And then basically you'd never have to send it in. You have an estimated grade for that coin, and you can just put it in your box. Now you pay a little bit money because it helps to keep the website going, and supplies and whatever else manages it. But it would be a really good way of being able to have your coins graded estimatedly, keep the cost down for you. You buy the special little holders from them and the stickers, low cost, doesn't cost you a lot. You can do your own coin grading and get an estimated grade based off of the computer scanning your coins. And you can just put them away and you know what they are. And then you can buy different levels, whether they be little sleeves with a sticker on it, right? And then you could just write on the back what the estimated grade was for that and the item number or how it's stored. Or it can be a full case, right, that you put them in. And then once you seal it, there's a special sealant in there, right, that melds itself together where it can't come apart unless you're busting it, right? And then it'll have a special logo on it from the website, from where it was scanned. There's lots of different ways of doing it. I've been thinking about this for many years. I just never had the financial backing to be able to, progress into it. And I don't know enough about computers and websites to advance myself in that direction. But there's money to be made, not a lot, but everybody could afford to have the coins graded then. So I've thought a little deeper. I mean, in one spectrum of how to make the coins being able to be graded at home and get specific, like I said, sleeves or, actual coin cases with a special self-sealant, right? So once you put it in there, it's in there, it's sealed. And it'll have a special logo and sticker. And before you seal it, you put on it the date, the item number, the computer scanned it at, and what the estimated grade is. And once you seal it, it's sealed, just like you would get from PCGS or NGC, except the sealant is a special sealant, and it's only for those cases. And you have to buy those cases from them. They might cost you $5 or $6 a piece. But still, it'd be cheaper than sending them off, spending all that money for, shipping and handling and everything, and waiting forever to get your stuff sealed and graded. And then what you could do afterwards is if you're going to sell it, right? Well, you already have the basic determination based on that computer, right? And estimated. Now, if somebody's a buyer and they say, okay, well, I want to have it graded through PCGS, right? Before I make my final determination, and then you can make your determination. Say, look, you can buy it like this. This is estimated grade based upon 1,000 different people who have acknowledged what these different grades of these different coins are. Okay. For this price. Or I send it to PCGS myself or whoever and have it graded, and that will be tacked on to the price. Plain and simple. There's easy ways to do it, guys. Really is. And I've thought this through for years, as a collector. Um, I think that it would be a good way to do it. I really do. And anybody that watches this, you can comment, tell me what you think. But I don't have the money to do it. But I think if Daniel was listening to this, it's a good way to implement it into what he's already doing, and he's on it. He really is, and he's getting big. But he shouldn't be too big to be listening to what Reverend Bob has to say, because this is a good idea to implement into what he's already doing. I think it would be a good way of helping everybody, keeping the price of grading down, making it a little more even keeled what those grades are based upon what they are. Whether they're penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half, gold, dollars, whatever, foreign coins. Sky's the limit. There's enough intelligence out there, right? And there's enough people, good graders, coin graders, still out there. And before they all die, and you can't get those people anymore because their knowledge is gone. Let's do it now. Let's set the standard, and that will set a standard. Okay, but before it can be sold on a for big dollars, it has to go in the hands of one of these big companies. It has to. I think it would make it pretty good. So, anyway, did you guys enjoy that? You think I'm not always thinking? I'm always thinking. Especially something like that. That's really, because, I've been grading coins for a long time, you know, and I don't consider myself a professional grader, but I go basically off of what knowledgeable people who have been grading coins for twice or three or four times as long as I have go. If you see those coins, you got to be good at it, you know? And by God, I want to rub uglies with those guys. You know what I mean? I want to get in their head. And they don't always get it right. And they'll tell you that. So I think trying to set a standard like that would be very helpful to all of us. Gives you a sense of security, you know, especially when you do it on a cheap. Because the computer, it knows. And then periodically you can upgrade it, Look, Morgan Silver Dollar, right? Perfect timing. They can put, you know, mint state 70s in there and proof 70s if they want to make proofs. They have the technology, they have the ability to make that stuff now. They can set the standard on those. That's great. Yeah, that's what's up. You guys would like to have what's in this bag right here. These are Morgans that you guys would die for. And one of these days, I'm going to send them out. These are twins. These are the coins I've been telling you guys about. That there is nothing on PCGS, NGC, ANAC. They're not registered with Konica yet. I've already called Konica. I've already called NGC, and they know I got them. And I've already told them what it is, but I'm so afraid to send them. I am. Because they have identical problem. Well, vans on. I got them. So I kind of feel special. But people want to see them, and I won't show them because I want to be the first one. I'm going to do some casting here probably in a couple months too. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh, is it this one? What did I do with it? I don't know if Texas Joe's seen my. Hey, Tex, check this out. I don't think he was on the other night. Check this out. Look at this knife. Isn't that beautiful? Mm. Well, he ain't dead, so he'll be all right. I got a couple of knives. I'm going to deck out this year. Where was it made? I don't know. It's handmade, though. Who knows? It's a nice knife. But I got some stuff that I'm going to be doing. I have different grades of steel out in my shop. And that ain't Chinese made. No, it's not. I think it might have been made maybe. I mean, I'm guessing maybe in India or something like that. But anyway, I don't know how long I had them. God, long time. Anyway, I'm thinking about putting a couple of knives together anyway. And then one night I'll just, who knows when, just pop them up there and give them away. Who knows? I got a lot of things I've been working on. It just takes me time. I don't just do one thing all the time. But I get wore down quick, you know. You want an update on the medication? You know, Gail Marie probably might be wondering about this. Change is coming. So my doctor approved it. Thank you, Jesus, because I'll tell you what, these sweating nights are terrible. I'm telling you. I'm sitting here just sweating. I'd say here negative everybody wasn't perverted and turned me in for being a nudist. It's only perverted if you think perverted, right? So I say. What's all the duct tape for? CLMK packages. I'm not lying. I got to take stock in tape to send her stuff to her. I do. This roll down here, you see how fat this? Look, I'll show you. See how fat that roll is? See? See? Yeah. It has to go down there like an armored car is delivering her package to her. It's the way she likes it. She's fussy. Oh, I got a cramp. So, she gets what she wants. That's the way she likes it. So, she gets it that way. George does too. Also, poet. You just ask him. He gets it that way too. Yeah. Buy a lot of things. It's coming, and you're going to take you 30 minutes to get it open. Especially when you know what's in there. So you're not going to go reckless. Has no other use for jackhammer. Well, you know. She's a pretty smart woman, believe it or not. I'm sure she could think of other things. Like that front yard of hers. I was wondering where her grass was. And then she sends me a picture. I don't know how many bags were on that pallet, but she had a whole pallet of those red chips, I think they were. You know, those. She says, screw it, I ain't planting no freaking grass this year. I'll just throw chips out there and put some flowers out there to look nice. A couple shrubs. Here's my thing about redwood chips. They usually end up at the end of the driveway before the end of the year. Yeah, that's why you get 10 bags for or 5 bags for $10, right? I was in Rhode Island postal workers. It was in Connor's down there in Florida. Oh, there's got to be something good in here that says handle with care. It's got to be good. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, you got a box opener? Shh, don't tell the boss. We ain't supposed to have him back yet. Shh. Is anything coming out? Not yet. Shake it a little harder. Trust me, it ain't coming out of mine. You have to be wanting to steal it and spend a few minutes. And when that few minutes, somebody's going to catch you on the camera. Trust me. So I'm confident that my packages get to Florida now. You know, there's a thing on YouTube about that too. It just came out. I was watching it the other day. So now I take extra precaution. So there'll be extra charges for shipping packages. So if you're buying coins, then you should be wanting to get those coins, right? And you should be making sure they're safe and pay whatever it has to be. So It's going to be a little extra charge for that. And I'm going to make sure people get it. They'll be happy. Won't be happy about paying the price, but they'll be happy they got their stuff. The great thing about those boxes, they have the small, the medium, and the large priority mailboxes. You could make it armored if you want. And that's what I want to do. I mean, I understand if somebody's only spending, $5 on something, they say just send it out in an envelope. Well, that's the chance they're going to take. But if they're spending 100, 200, 500, whatever on coins, then they want to make sure that their stuff gets there. So, that's right. Wait until you see this one, CLMK. Well, there's Carson City in there, so it had to be armored. Just that one coin. Because, I just had to. Yeah. New England's different. It really is. Holy cow, it's 12:30? Jesus, you guys had me up here talking forever. Whew. Hey, did you guys see my little ATV I picked up for $50? It's a pretty good deal. Freaking Joe, that's funny. That's right. I'd rather pay than be lost too. Absolutely. They're my babies, right? So whatever it takes, you know. I mean, some places you don't have a choice, right? A lot of places you don't have a choice of having it double bagged and double boxed and all that. You don't. I mean, you get that from the U.S. Mint. You'll get that from a few places, but not everybody does that. And if you ask them, it's going to probably be an extra charge in it or whatever. I just think it's only right to do it. So, anyway, I'm going to have a long day tomorrow. I got to get all of the coins set up for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. I got a couple other things to do, so it's going to be a long back and forth day tomorrow for me. So I am going to go because it's like 12:30 at night. I love you guys, but I love sleeping too. Anyway, I thank you all for coming out. I love you. Hope to see you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or one of those days. Bring your wallet. Joe, I heard that everything's big in Texas, so bring your big wallet. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Behave yourself. Stay out of trouble. Reverend Bob is out of here. I'm going to have another coffee. I'm going to go to bed. And I really do love you guys. Know that. So, I'm out of here. Have a good night, and we will see you Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Or maybe all 3 days, or maybe a couple of days. See you guys.